Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2006 season of the Monsters of Destruction. I'm Kevin Hynes. Here we're in Lewiston, Idaho for round number 8, where this man, Dan Runty, and the Summit Bigfoot has gone for a 3-round winning streak. Now out here looking for the 4th round in a row with an 8-event win if he can pull it off tonight. Let's run down and meet our field of drivers for tonight's event.
I started to get back in my rhythm. Let's see if I can just keep it going.
We're trying to make some adjustments to make the truck run a little smoother in the racing and go a little faster.
I mean, we were getting a lot of air, so we took some good hits. You know, it was hard on equipment. We're just doing them one at a time now.
We'll just see. You know, it's a short course here, very short. Not some of my best stuff when it's real short.
We're going to come right back where we were. Like I say, we've already hit the bottom. We're headed back up.
The pressure's on to win. You always want to take number one. If you take number one, then you make more than you usually do.
Well, we've ran with most of these guys before, but they're running really hard here because of the big purse.
Now let's jump right into the action. Wade Sherman, up to you.
Well, there's a lot of kids on hand here tonight for round 8 from Lewiston, Idaho in MOD competition. As the kids get some autographs, we'll send it down to Kevin for some interviews with tonight's drivers.
All right, Dan, we're back out here in Lewiston, Idaho for round number 8. You are now on a 6-win streak. Man, what else can you say?
There isn't a whole lot to say. I mean, it's getting tougher. You know, the guys they're tightening up. You're watching them around the pits today. They're doing some different stuff. They're definitely raising the bar on the whole thing. I mean, the Summit Bigfoot's doing awesome. I've had a good streak with it. Guys in the shop are proud of me. I just hope we can hang on to it.
All right, Rick, we're back out here, round number 8 in Lewiston, Idaho. Looking forward to seeing you up on the top of the show out here tonight.
We had a really good night last night. Had a little problems in the obstacle course. That was due to lack of fluid in the rear steering. Done a couple other things. You know, hopefully that's not going to happen again tonight. You know, I think we proved to everybody that once I get in my groove, I'm a truck that you can count on being on top.
All right, Dan, we're back out here, Lewiston, Idaho, for round number 8. Any predictions for tonight's event?
Well, let's hope we don't red light tonight. We got 2 last night. You know, at least we're consistent on that and still come out to be the fastest truck of the night, but the quickest one in the trailer.
Well, I don't know what the Samson truck has been very fast out here all year long. You've proven that you've got the motor, you've got the driving skills. What are the plans for the event tonight?
Well, you know, again, trying to be consistent again. You know, like I said, this is not my best performances, you know, on the real short stuff. And we're early qualifying tonight. The track's a little slimy, so we probably won't get much out of the first one, but the left lane's a better lane anyway, so it seems to hook up better. So we'll go after that one, try not to pop up a red light on that one like we did last night. So,
Paul, we're back out here, Lewiston, Idaho, for round number 8. What do you think about tonight's event?
I think tonight will be great, man. Fans are great here. The track's real good. Competition's competitive, and we'll be definitely giving it our all.
There are your standings coming into tonight's action in straight line drag competition. It's Craig Christensen on top in the Dragon Slayer. Dan Patrick in second, Samson. My partner tonight, Frank Scattini, you're down there in 10th with 12 points, man.
Okay, let's pick on me some more.
Okay, sounds like fun. There's Matt Powers with 12. Here's your obstacle course standings through 7 rounds. Again, it's Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer on top. Rick Swanson in the Obsession truck is second. Dan Patrick, Dan Runty there in the top 5. My partner, Frank Scattini, you're 9th in obstacle course.
I'm not last. Look.
Must be your strength.
All right.
Well, in Frank's defense, he hasn't been with us in all 8 rounds, but he had a good time when he was out there. When you were out there tonight?
Yeah, I'll be back. I'm getting all excited watching these guys, and I'll definitely get back as soon as I can.
So we're qualifying here for round 8. It's Obsession and Samson. Looks like Obsession had the whole shot there. Pretty quick off the line. His time, 2:4.64. He was also first quick in round 7. He's got it going again here tonight. Samson pretty fast as well at 2:8.76.
That was a great run.
Here's the Jeep Scrambler of Matt Powers. They call it Shattered. He didn't do too bad in his first time out. Didn't score real high, but he had an awesome freestyle. They're looking up under the Dragon Slayer. There may be a problem with the Dragon Slayer machine. Looks like Powers is going to take a solo run here. Bobbles over the tabletop, 2925. We'll have to get a report from the garage on Christensen and Dragon Slayer, a major story developing here for him.
Yeah, it's not common for Craig to not make it out there. Well, we got Natural High coming up and Summit Bigfoot.
Bigfoot has a 5-round streak in straight line drag. He has been tough to beat. He's only competed in 5 rounds. He's perfect on the season.
I don't know. He just see if he can keep that winning streak going. If somebody takes him down, it's going to be well deserved because he's been running so hard, so strong, so consistent.
2:4.57 for Bigfoot that time, and Kelvin Raymer, fastest he's been on the 2 rounds here in Lewiston, Idaho, which takes us to Paul Jensen in Spider-Man. We have 7 trucks here tonight, so he will also run solo, trying to set top qualifying time, 2:6.07. That's not going to get it done. After the first pass, it's Bigfoot with the top qualifying time of 2:4.57. They'll switch lanes and try it again. Back to the top of the order, it's Dan Patrick and Sampson, the biggest arms in the business. He will run opposite Rick Swanson in the Obsession. He was our top qualifier from round 7.
Looks like we're setting up here. Let's see how it goes.
Sampson was quicker off the line. Obsession got a lot of air, and that cost him right there. Sampson kept it going straight. Swanson was going up, and by the time he got down, Sampson was across the line with a time of 2:4.40. That's a great time. 2:4.40 is top qualifying time so far with 5 trucks remaining. Here's Matt Powers and Shattered. He improved dramatically in his first pass over round 7. Let's see what he has for Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer, who fixed his mechanical problem. Comes out to post a 2.76, Shattered at 2.977.
A great run. Craig really turned it on there. I guess he needed to because he's only got 1 shot at qualifying.
Yeah, but he did post a time, and he will be able to come out and compete for the purse here tonight. Straight line drag competition, and now Bigfoot and Natural High will do battle here. Raymer really coming on, getting some speed. He was slow in round 7, looks faster in round 8, but Bigfoot's got him here. 2:3.16 for Bigfoot. That is top qualifying time of the night. Natural High not bad at 2.67, but not good enough.
No, it looks like Dan's setting up for another win here.
Paul Jensen has an opportunity to set top qualifier. That time Bigfoot just put up is going to be tough to beat. Let's see if Jensen can do it here in the Spider-Man machine. Bounces off the tabletop, comes across in 2.645. Your top qualifier tonight. Big surprise.
Bigfoot.
Man, Runty has been on fire. He qualifies first, followed by Dan Patrick and Sampson. There you see the rest of the field rounding out the 7-truck field. They're Dragon Slayer and Matt Powers and Shadow.
Monsters of Destruction on the Outdoor Channel is brought to you by AmeriGas, America's propane company. Back with more after these words.
Some of the reason behind the success of the Monsters of Destruction Tour is the incorporation of this equipment that you see right behind me. This professional light tree, as well as the state-of-the-art electronics, the line-of-sight lasers, and the line-of-sight start and finish line cameras are just some of the things that allow us to separate these competitors all the way down to 10 one-thousandths of a second, which, as you know, can mean the difference of whether or not they're going home broke or going home happy.
This is a laser staging light. It emits a laser beam over to a reflector and then back to the sensor. And once it's broke, then it'll trip a staging light, and that's when the trucks know when to stop. Then they have 18 inches of depth before they will either trip a red light or they'll start the timer. First stage is a staging light, second stage is your red light, and also switches your timers. The first staging light is all wired. It's a wired system, runs off relays. The rest of the system, red light, start light, and finish timing equipment is all wireless, and it actually goes back up to a small wireless device that I hold up wherever it may be, an announcer's booth or wherever it may be. So once they're staged, both yellow lights are on. That's my signal to start the timer. And what it does, actually start the tree sequence. And what that does is you'll see a yellow, 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 green. And this is a pro tree function. Obviously, if they jump the green light, they'll trip the red light, and the timer will still start, and we'll get the runs. So once they run through the entire run, there's these same type of equipment, which is actually from a company called FarmTech, who helped me develop the wireless system and integrate it into that the tree there. Once they finish the course, they'll break the same type of wireless beam, which will then send the signal back to the handheld device I'm holding, and that's how I get the times to radio back down to you and the audience and what we see on TV.
Time to get started in elimination competition here in the straight line drag category. There's Dan, Patrick, and Sampson. He is our first truck to the line tonight. Matt, Powers, and Shattered. Now, Frank, that last piece on timing really helps illustrate the point. This isn't any wrestling roller derby kind of deal. This is real racing.
Here's some real racing coming on now.
Sampson across the line first. It'll be Shattered going home early. Sampson's time, 2:7.65. Not even close to the TQ that was set in qualifying, but good enough to advance right there.
Great start there.
Sampson has always been quick off the line. He's had several red lights this season. I don't know if he gambles a little bit to try and gain that advantage or if he's just really, really fast. But Powers going home disappointed here in straight line drags in his second MOD round of competition.
He's getting faster, though. He's learning. Maybe he's getting used to it. Maybe he's been a little nervous off the start, but he's driving a lot better.
So in our second heat, it'll be Rick Swanson in the Obsession truck. He carries number 95. He'll go up against Craig Christensen, our season points leader in straight line drag and obstacle course competition. He carries the number 01. Early advantage looks like Swanson, but he struggled over the tabletop. Wow, that one was too close to call. The computerized timing shows Rick Swanson in Obsession 2:6.11. Dragon Slayer almost identical 2:6.61. That was too close to call.
You're watching the replay here, and that's what you have to actually do. We got to watch the camera here. That was very tight.
Looked like Christensen spent more time going up than he did going forward, and that's what gave the edge to Rick.
Exactly what happened there.
An exciting race. It doesn't get any closer than that. So advancing to the semis, it's Sampson and Obsession. Heat number 3. Paul Jensen and Spider-Man going up against Kelvin Raymer in Natural High. Spider-Man is a Hummer body. Kelvin Raymer is that Chevy SST, I think it is,
yeah,
SSR.
when he first came out to the track with that, we're all, whoa, that's great. It's a nice trick he's got going.
Good start for Raymer. He may win here. He does win here. No, he red lighted. No wonder he was fast. He red lighted. So the win goes to Spider-Man at 2:6.63. And you know what? That's okay for Raymer to red light because he wasn't going to win unless he was dead on. He's been struggling in straight line. I thought he had it here, but just a little too soon. I'm sure Paul Jensen will take it. His reaction time, 02:19. Happy to advance. It doesn't matter if the other guy gets disqualified. You just win, right, Frank?
Oh, there you go. You want to go with the disqualifying always hurts because you never know. Would I have won? Would I have won? You know, you kick yourself in the head for that one over and over.
Yeah, Bigfoot advances by virtue of being top qualifier here tonight. Gets an automatic pass into the semifinal round. We have an odd number of trucks, 7 trucks. So we move right on to the semifinals now, and it's Dan, Patrick, and Sampson going up against Rick Swanson in the Obsession truck. Swanson has been around the championship but never won it. He's not going to win it tonight either. 2:5.12 for Dan Patrick. Obsession going home early. Rick Swanson 2:7.6.
Yeah, it looked like Obsession had a funny start there, and then Dan had so much momentum it took out the wall at the end. Hopefully didn't do any damage to that truck.
It wasn't really a funny start. It was a false start. He got on the gas and then realized he was early. He hiccuped, and by the time he could get going again, look at that.
All right, Dan, way to go.
That's not a little damage. That's a lot of damage. Let's see if we can find out where it happened here exactly.
He can definitely do damage to his wheels and feed, anything, so we'll see.
Well, any winnings he may have earned tonight, I think, are going to the fairground operator. It's a tough break for him. We'll be back with the finals after these words on MOD.
Tonight's Monsters of Destruction broadcast is brought to you by Monster Jerky and by Monstrous Displays.
To Monsters of Destruction on the Outdoor Channel. Wade Sherman and Frank Scattini with you. Now, when a venue books the Monsters of Destruction, don't you think they expect to have their place torn up? I mean, they're monsters of destruction. They're not here to make doilies, man.
There's definitely some destruction going on here today. Hopefully Dan's truck is in good shape to come on back.
Here's Dan Runty and Bigfoot. He's 5 for 5 in MOD straight line drag competition. He's competed in 5 rounds, won them all. There's Paul Jensen and Spider-Man. He's been good, but he's going to have to be real good to beat Dan Runty and Bigfoot. Good start for Bigfoot. Flies, clears the tabletop in the air, posts a time of 2:3.31. Spider-Man going home. He is eliminated.
This is what sponsors like Summit and Firestone want to see out of a driver. Exactly what Dan's been doing.
It's just dominating. It's almost like he's got extra horsepower, or he's got something the other guys don't have. Maybe it's just experience.
We know he's got a lot of experience. He's cool, calm, and he's really consistent. It's going to take a real great run for somebody to take him down off of his throne.
So the final will feature Dan Patrick against Bigfoot. Both guys have been around a long time. Both of them very knowledgeable about not just driving, but building these trucks. Dan Runty and Bigfoot looking to extend his winning streak to 6 consecutive rounds. Dan Patrick and Sampson trying to knock him off. Could be anybody's race. There's the green. Bigfoot lifts that front tire, matches the gas as he goes. This one was close, but Bigfoot wins by 0.05 of a second. 2.32 to 2.37 for Sampson, and Dan Runty has won 6 consecutive straight line drag rounds.
Does it get closer than that? Look at the way both trucks hooked up perfectly. Great reaction time, great landings, and you can't do any better than that, either one of them.
Now from that in-cab view, it looks like when you hit that gas, the whole attitude of the truck just points towards the sky. Can you even see the track in front of you at that point?
Some guys do have trouble, but most of the trucks have Lexan, clear Lexan, so you can look down through the bottom of the truck. The truck can be straight up and down. You can still see the track.
The results tonight in straight line drag competition: Dan Runty 6 for 6, followed by Sampson, Paul Jensen, Rick Swanson, and Craig Christensen. Finishing 6th was Matt Powers in Shattered, followed by Kelvin Raymer in Natural High. He red lighted. For your standings after 8 rounds, it's Craig Christensen on top in the Dragon Slayer, Dan Patrick and Sampson is 2nd, Dan Runty and Bigfoot is 3rd now. I bet he wishes he had come to all the events. Rick Long has cost him the lead now. There's the rest of the field going down to Jason Grill in Public Disturbance in 10th.
I know he's last. Go ahead, make fun.
All right, now down here with Dan Patrick. Dan, you came out, you put the hammer down. Now, I know something happened in qualifying earlier tonight that kind of made it a little more difficult to run the truck. What happened?
Just out of nowhere, we lost first gear in the transmission, but we got a 4-speed. We were the only one in the world to run a 4-speed Lenco, so we got plenty of other. It's just that we kind of needed that one gear at the end.
Well, you've done a great job so far. You came out here, you put on a great competition for Bigfoot. You guys were almost side by side coming across that line, almost identical reaction times, and it looks like if you might have had that first gear, you might have just taken this one from Dan.
Oh, I don't know. You know, Dan's just one of the greatest competitors out there, and he's got good equipment under him, and so it's just tough, and, you know, I'm not ashamed at all losing against him.
Well, Dan, a great job once again, and it's great to see Sampson back out here in the top 2.
Yeah, we just, maybe we'll get lucky and start being on top again.
All right, now down here with our winner, the 8th straight line drag in a row, Dan Runty in the Summit Bigfoot. Dan, it's got to make you awful happy.
It does. I mean, it's awesome. You know, it's like I said before, this is just an awesome group of trucks, and Patrick's been at it for years. You know, he's had a lot to do with putting some of the equipment that's under me. I mean, I got to thank him for some of that. You know, it's just Patrick's built a lot of trucks, and he's helped with some of ours, and we got some guys back in the shop like Roy and them, you know, that have been at it for years too. And it's I don't want to call them old, but it's some old knowledge. You know, Bob Chandler started years ago. I just love it. I mean, this thing is just a rocket ship.
You know, and we talked in the last couple rounds about the Firestone tires and how they're picking up on this track. And it seems like down here in Lewiston, you just you can't be beat. That's got to make you feel great.
I don't know. We got a long way to go yet. You know, there's still that turn course thing, and that's tough. You know, we pulled it out of here last night. They throwed another corner in here. Going to make it a little longer tonight. It'll make it a little more interesting, so we'll have to see about that. We'll take the straight line win, that's for sure.
Well, Dan, once again, congratulations on 8 in a row of straight line drags. Well, actually, 8 in a row wins now. So you're looking to be on top of the winner's circle again later tonight. We'll look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to count the chickens before they hatch, but it's awesome. It's also neat to have all these fans out here in Lewiston. You know, we've heard a lot about other shows that come here and stuff, and I just appreciate you guys still coming out and supporting monster trucks, and hopefully we'll get to come back and do the MOD thing here again.
All right, thanks so much, Dan, and congratulations on first spot.
Thank you.
We move now to obstacle course competition in round 8 of MOD's 2006 season. There's Matt Powers in Shattered. That's a Jeep Scrambler body, going up against Dan Patrick and Sampson. Frank, we have bonus obstacle course racing tonight. They've added a half a lap.
Yeah, I think this is going to be great for the fans. They get to see more driving out of the drivers, and then the drivers have to also concentrate longer. They have to put down a good run and then some.
Pretty even at the first turn. Now, Frank, would you forget something like that? Would you like stop racing thinking you'd
You know
finish?
what is for somebody like Dan Patrick, who's been running Chicago the same way for years and years and years, he may, that could be a possibility.
Doesn't look like there's any shortcomings in his game tonight. Sampson finishes 22.853. Shattered not so good at 28.318. He is eliminated. Powers doing the best he can, but not good enough against Sampson with all that experience.
Sampson, all that experience and a well-driven truck here. I mean, that truck looks strong coming off the line right there. Catching and planting and not going too fast. Dan's got the slowest fast theory down here. He's smooth and consistent.
Had a little trouble there over the last jump, kind of missed the tabletop, but he had a big enough lead at that point where it didn't really matter.
I think he was looking at the other truck a lot too, because he was catching him.
There you get a look at the suspension. These trucks take a lot of punishment.
They are running a lot of great camera angles, and the onboard cameras are really helping people see what these trucks can do.
Reaction time's about even there, about 0.05 of a second apart. Dan Patrick will advance. Matt Powers is eliminated. Now, if you look at this replay, there's a lot of smoke coming off the bottom of that shatter truck. What is happening down there?
Yeah, that steam coming out of the bottom of the truck, those are actually ventilation tubes out of like the valve covers, the crankcase ventilation. And there's a lot of methanol blow-by, and it's coming out.
We'll be back with more obstacle course racing after this on MOD.
Monsters of Destruction on the Outdoor Channel is brought to you by AmeriGas, America's propane company. Back with more after these words.
Full moon tonight in Lewiston, Idaho. Does that mean the freaks are coming out?
No,
well, Frank's here, so some of them are out.
That always happens.
It's a beautiful night for racing here in Lewiston, Idaho. We're getting set to go back to obstacle course action. Of course, Bigfoot has gone 6 for 6 in straight lines, but this man, Rick Swanson, looking to win here in obstacle course racing. He's going to go up against Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer, our season points leader.
Craig loaned him some parts. I believe Rick's truck's got some problems, and Craig loaned him some parts. And let's see if they can bite him in the end here.
Well, one thing about these drivers, they're always going to help each other because they want to win. At least it appears to me that they don't want to win cheap. They want to win fair and square. And I'm sure Craig wouldn't want it any other way. He wants to beat Rick at his best, but I don't think he's going to do that here tonight.
Tight. This is a real tight race.
Swanson's looking good here. A little bit of an advantage around the last turn, and he's going to bring it home. He has eliminated Dragon Slayer by almost a full second, 22.355 for Rick Swanson. Craig Christensen, 23.232. That's what you get for helping somebody, huh?
There you go. That comes back. It may get repaid by Rick some other day, but like I was saying, Rick had transmission problems, and Craig was the first one to throw in some parts and get Rick some top-end gearing going. And here it is, Craig's parts. He can take credit for some of this win for Obsession.
Yeah, I'm sure the people that pay the purse, they're only going to be writing one check, and that'll be to Rick Swanson in the Obsession truck. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to Christensen here. Looked pretty good around the turn.
I think Craig ran a great run, and Rick just ran a better one. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, no major mistakes here on the part of Dragon Slayer, but Rick, he's been trying to win for so long here. Maybe tonight's his night.
That'd be nice.
So the first semi will feature Sampson against Obsession, and now we go on to the next heat. This is heat number 3, and it's Paul Jensen and Spider-Man bringing that Hummer, the 02 truck out, and he is going to do battle against Kelvin Raymer in Natural Hot. Kelvin not known for his obstacle course prowess in MLB action through 8 rounds, but let's see, you never know.
Great start by both of them.
Looks like Jensen gets around the turn a little bit faster. He's on the gas sooner. Oh, a bobble there. Rear wheels catching the tabletop for Jensen, but I think he's recovered. He's got a little bit of a lead going into the final turn. Raymer struggling a bit here. Here comes Jensen to the finish. He's back on the gas. He's across the line. Paul Jensen has won with a time of 23.42. Natural High, a full 7 seconds behind.
It's hard to say what's going on here. He looked like he just under-manipulated a couple of the turns there. The Spider-Man truck is smooth and consistent, and that seems to be winning the races here tonight.
Yeah, you seem to be really focused not so much on speed, but lack of mistakes? I mean, does it really just come down to who goofs the least?
Yeah, you can't really shave time off of this track because if you go too fast, it just makes you make that mistake. As long as you're smooth, consistent, and aren't making the mistakes, like you said, you just end up with a quicker time.
See if we can notice any major mistakes on the part of Kelvin Raymer in Natural High. Nothing really yet. Had to adjust his steering there to approach that one car stack. Well, I guess you have to be on the gas a little bit because even though he was smooth and didn't really bobble, his 30-second time was about 6 seconds off the pace. So I guess there is a fine line between being smooth and being fast.
Yeah, it is. It's a turn-to-turn thing here. Turn-to-turn speed and being smooth.
Here you get the onboard view from inside the Natural High. You don't really have a lot of time to react to what's going on the track in front of you. These things sit so high, it's hard to see where you're headed next. Move on to the next semifinal heat. Here's Rick Swanson in the Obsession truck. He is from Menifee, California, made the drive up to Lewiston, Idaho for round 8. Going up against Dan Patrick. He's from the Midwest. He had a pretty long haul as well.
Yeah, they're both top competitors here. Let's see what they can do. Put on a good show for the fans. Looks like a great start by both of them already. Oh, something's going on with Dan.
Yeah, Dan Patrick is broken down. He's headed for the barn. Obsession, all he's got to do is keep it rolling, and he will advance to the finals here. So far, so good for Rick. I don't know what happened to Patrick. He's got a mechanical problem, to say the least. Here comes Rick Swanson. He will finish, and he will move on. His time, 22:589. We'll have to try and figure out what happened to Patrick in that Samson machine.
Well, I like the fact that Rick got a little bit of practice in there with no pressure. Once he saw Dan roll off, he knew he was gone. So he did continue pushing around the track. So I guess he's just getting a little feel for the track, maybe get into the finals and win something.
Yeah, the fastest times tonight have been in the 22-second range, so he's right there. I think he wants to know if he's got enough truck to get it done here tonight, and based on the speed of this time, I think he does.
That'll be good. Rick's
right
a good
there.
guy, and he's been trying. How many times can this guy get second?
I know he's trying to break through here tonight in round 8. Samson, there he goes. He heads to the garage area. He didn't even take the turn, so something bad wrong with that truck.
Monsters of Destruction on the Outdoor Channel is brought to you by AmeriGas, America's propane company. Back with more after these words.
Back to round 8 of the 2006 Monsters of Destruction season on the Outdoor Channel. I'm Wade Sherman, and joining me is driver of the Monster Jerky truck, Frank Scattini. A lot of great racing here in Lewiston, Frank.
Going into semifinals, here comes Dan. Gonna probably take it to the top run like he always does, and see if the Spider-Man truck can put a licking on him.
He's gonna do battle here with Paul Jensen in the Spider-Man truck. This should be a good match. Bigfoot, you would think, built for speed. Spider-Man built for turning. Looks like Bigfoot first around the turn.
This is tight.
Pretty good race so far. Look at that front left wheel come up off the ground for Bigfoot. He's got the advantage for sure. Spider-Man's going to have to hurry if he wants to win this one. I don't think he's going to get it done, but he's making up some ground. It's going to be close. Let's see. 21:683 for Bigfoot. He will advance. Spider-Man goes home with a time of 22:309.
Well, like I've said before, it just shows Spider-Man's running a great run, and Dan's just got that ability to turn it up one more notch. Even though he's already a notch ahead, he always has one more notch ready. And, you know, the people that benefit are the fans. Be able to see such talent rolling around the track like this. Look at that. Pushing it through the turn, carrying a wheel, yet still so smooth between the lines. Very consistent. As I'm talking, you see he's just planning everything perfect.
Nice run there on the part of Dan Runcie and Bigfoot. An excellent reaction time, .044. It doesn't get much faster than that without red lighting, that's for sure. There you get an onboard view.
You watch Spider-Man's run here too. You don't see him bobbling or anything. He's pushing hard. A lot of dirt flinging off those tires. Lined up straight, landing it, staying in the throttle. A little wide there, but, you know, not slow by any means.
I think his biggest issue is he didn't clear the tabletops in the air, and he was bouncing on the top of those jumps where it looked like Bigfoot was carrying more air and landing on the downside of those jumps. And a big bobble right there on the car stack. So making the finals tonight, Rick Swanson in the Obsession truck. No stranger to the finals, but he hasn't won yet this season that I can remember. Going up against Dan Runcie and Bigfoot. A big chance for Swanson to break through here tonight, but very tough competitor in Bigfoot.
Yeah, Rick's been putting on hard and good times, so let's watch this one. I can't wait.
There's the green. Looks like Bigfoot got a better start. He was quicker off the line. Here comes Obsession around the first turn. They're pretty even at the first turn.
Oh, looks like Rick's a little bit ahead there. He planted a really nice turn.
A little trouble for Runty there around that one turn. Still too close to call. Every time you think one truck has the advantage, the other one takes it back. Still pretty even. It's too close to call. 21-743. Rick Swanson has broken through and won obstacle course racing. Look out, Bigfoot's in the fence.
He's going for freestyle. We're just finishing the race.
I don't know what happened there, but he slammed on the brakes and put that tail up in the air and almost flipped over like over the handlebars if it were a motorcycle.
Yeah, well, we were talking about, Fabtech Obsession having engine problems, part problems, and Craig Christensen helping in. What it turned out to be is Rick Swanson only has first gear in the truck. He's got a 2-speed transmission and had lost second gear. What Craig Christensen had done is given him some transfer case gears to give him some top-end speed. Rick Swanson just won that race against the Summit Bigfoot with only having first gear. That's a feat and a half as far as I'm concerned.
It's pretty amazing, and I don't know if Dan Runty just stayed on the gas trying to get every bit of speed to win this race and close the gap or what, but here at the end of his run, he almost flipped forward. Look at that, into the fence. They've been beating up this facility here tonight. That's the second chunk they've taken out of the wall.
It's right there in the same spot, too. I think they just have something about that. Maybe there's a bump in the track afterward that just keeps sending them up. But that was actually a really good save by Dan.
Hey, Dad, I just want you to know we just beat Bigfoot in the final round of obstacle course. We took his 6 winning. He's won 6 straight, and I just broke it with first gear only. I broke my transmission. I only had first gear. I dedicated it to you, so you gotta be happy, okay?
So Rick Swanson takes the obstacle course racing here tonight in round 8. He was followed by Dan Runty and Bigfoot, Paul Jensen and Spider-Man, Dan Patrick and Samson, and Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer. Finishing in the 6th position, it was Matt Powers in Shattered and Kelvin Raymer in Natural High. Through 8 rounds, it's Craig Christensen on top in the Dragon Slayer with 162 points. Rounding out the field there, you've got Frank Scattini, my partner, in 10th. 15 points. You need to get out there more.
Still, I'll be back. I swear I will be.
All right, now we're down here with Dan Runty and the Summit Bigfoot. Now, Dan, Obsession come out. He upsets some of the winning streak, but, man, you had a heck of a run out here tonight in the obstacle course.
Yeah, it was a little wild there, Dan, He was running hard. We were running hard. I lost in the corner. Like I said, you lose one in the corner and everybody else, or the other guy that you're racing on's on it. It doesn't take much, and he got it there. We'll take him for Summit, It's still awesome being Lewiston, and it's awesome being the finals, We'll have to give this one to Rick, though. He pulled one out there.
Well, Dan, it's been great seeing you up here in the winner's circle, and nonetheless, you're still back out here. Second place is just about as good as first, and so you're going to walk away with the second place tonight, and congratulations.
Thank you, Lewiston.
You came out here. I know you did some transfer case work out there. You had some difficulty with some of the gearing out there. Oh, his first win! They got him.
Yeah, baby.
Last year at the final round, I missed that, and they hit me, and Craig dumped out of the way. So Rick, you ended up out here on top, and it's got to feel great to be on top of the winner's circle tonight.
Well, winning Dan after he's been winning all those races, what an honor to be the one that finally knocks him off. But I couldn't do it without my sponsors, Fabtech, Marigas, Super Chips, James Duff. Those are the guys that get me out here every weekend. And besides them, as I said in the past, my dad's not doing very well. He's actually on the last few weeks of his life. I said I was going to come out and dedicate one to him. This is for him.
Well, Rick, if any other motivator out there, your father can always do it, and we know he's not doing well, and our wishes and our hearts go out with you, and congratulations on winning this race for him.
Thank you very much. Thanks for all the support out here. Like I said, one more time, I just want to give it to my dad. My wife flies out on Monday, so we'll be back together, my wife and my son, so this will be a good, sweet win.
Well, Rick, congratulations, and it's great to see you back out here on top.
Thanks for everybody coming out. And let's see what we can do in Cottage Grove. That's coming up next.
There's Rick Swanson with his obstacle course trophy. He won here tonight for the first time in MOD action. But there's still plenty to come here in round 8 as you see another look at Bigfoot smashing into the wall. It's time for freestyle.
Hey, this is my first time getting to announce anything, so I get to say monster trucks in the special voice they use in this freestyle thing. So it looks like he's got a great start going. Shattered's going to put on a run for the crowd.
He was pretty impressive in round 7. I wasn't expecting a lot from him given the fact that he's 19 years old and hasn't had a lot of experience, but he did some pretty good sky wheelies, and he was one of the best trucks in freestyle in round 7.
That's no doubt about that. And he's going to come out here and do some more. He's got the crowd cheering. I can hear him.
Hasn't really done a whole lot yet. There's some major air. Stands it on the tailgate, carries it over into a wheelie down the tabletop. That was impressive.
Like I'm saying, I could never do that in my truck. That truck's incredible, pulling those sky wheelies and landing a wheelie across the top of the tabletop, off the cars. I love it.
I don't know if this body is set up to go perpendicular to the ground like that, but it seems like he's one of the few that really stands it on the tailgate every time he mashes the gas. One more time, he's up, bounces it. He kind of scooted and bounced about 10 feet there. That was pretty cool.
I think he was trying to outdo Kelvin's one-wheel wheelie last week.
Oh, he totally broke the suspension there. The rear shock just disintegrating under the punishment of that landing. That had to cost some money. Look at this.
Like I told you before, freestyle hurts. It hurts the pocketbook, hurts the lower back sometimes.
Matt Powers has a future in freestyle with that truck. He is awesome. In 2 events here in Lewiston, he has really impressed. I think the crowd would agree that he's among the best in freestyle. This man, Kelvin Raymer, has also been very good at freestyle. Let's see what he has in store here tonight in the Natural High Machine.
Well, like I said, I like getting out of my truck and watching Kelvin freestyle, even if I have to run back to my truck, get in to do my freestyle. Tonight I'm sitting up here enjoying it.
Has a slap wheelie for his first move. He's got a wheelie bar on the back of his truck. It really helps him carry those wheelies.
Yeah, well, he designed the truck really heavily in the back. There's a great wheelie bar on the back of that truck.
Setting up his next pass now. Sliding up the jump. There he is on the gas. Into a slap wheelie. He's got it.
That's Kelvin.
Tailgate stand to boot. He's looking good.
Oh, yeah, we love those one-wheel right, left, rear wheels switching sides, and he wheelies off again. One more time.
Look at this finishing move. He carries it the length of the arena. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, we get a good replay of him, too. I mean, you could watch this guy all night long. It's a shame you just can't just let him go for about a half hour. I'd sit there the whole time.
By Monster Jerky. And by Monstrous Displays.
Wade Sherman and Frank Scattini with you on MOD. This is round number 8 from Lewiston, Idaho. We're in the middle of freestyle. 2 pretty good runs so far from Natural High and Shattered, a newcomer on the scene, Matt Powers. But here comes Bigfoot. Dan Runty has been 6 for 6 in straight line drag competition. Lost in the finals to Rick Swanson in obstacle course racing tonight. An emotional victory, to say the least, for Rick Swanson. What do you think Bigfoot's got for us in freestyle, Frank?
Well, he comes right out and just starts hammering on the jumps as usual. Bigfoot's suspension is set up really, really well. It makes it really hard to freestyle with a truck whose suspension is set up as nice as his for racing. It doesn't bounce. It's hard to get in. You got some great air there, but look how the truck sticks to the ground like a real race truck should. So it's like one hand or the other, you know, and it's tough to freestyle with a truck that handles so well.
Oh, look at that. He's up on the nose. He walked it. That's a reverse wheelie. What do you call that move?
I don't know if he really meant to do that, but now that he did it, I think I'd like to try one of those. That looked like a lot of fun.
He did that at the end of one of his runs in obstacle course racing as well and took out a chunk of the wall. Maybe that truck is having some front end problems. It's sitting too low or something.
No, he just came up short on that double, and that was something you really don't try to do, but he really drove out of that perfectly. It made it look like a great trick.
So what you're saying was it looked good, but it was probably scary while it happened. He wasn't really sure he wanted to be.
Yeah, I don't think anything scares Dan. He's done that so many times, and he always drives out of it. He's a great driver.
I've heard of a tailgate stand, but I've never seen a front bumper stand before. But there's your
front
first.
bumper wheelie. That was good.
Let's take another look here as he gets some big air. Like you say, it comes down so smooth, you can't really get any slap wheelies or anything like that. Here comes an excellent freestyle competitor. This is Paul Jensen in the Spider-Man truck. He's really set up to do some high-flying acrobatic moves.
Yeah, him and his teammate Craig, they come out here and they beat those trucks. The guys do go off broken a lot, but you know, they put on a great show for the crowd. And again, it's just so much fun to watch.
Into a donut now. He's got it hooked up. He's spinning it around. Dust is flying. Always exciting to see the donuts, but my question tonight, Frank, is where's the RV? Where's the extra stuff? They didn't bring out anything extra for him to hit. Does that throw you off as a competitor?
Well, I don't know. Most of these guys come out and they see the RV and go, oh, now what am I going to do with this? This is a great, great exhibition he's putting on here.
That was some major error for Jensen right there. He got pretty high. Clean landing. Didn't break any of the suspension like we saw earlier on Shattered.
Looks like he's got some rear steering issues going on here, but he's got them straightened out.
A little bit of time left after the donut for Jensen. Approaching the little berm here. Gets on the brakes. Maybe he's just packing down that jump. Going to try something big here, isn't he?
I hope he gets a good run at this.
On the gas. He's up, he's down into a slap wheel. He can't hold it. I really don't know what that was about. He thought about it, backed up.
That was the front suspension just working too well. He didn't get any bounce out of that at all. It didn't help him toward a wheelie. I really believe he's having some rear steering problems here, and he's having to manual steer it back to straight. So maybe an anti-sway bar issue or something, but he's definitely having some difficulty with how that truck is reacting right now. But he's still putting on a show.
Fans here in Lewiston appreciating freestyle, round 8 of MOD competition. Nice jump right there. Shakes a little bit of the fiberglass loose from the front of that truck. Now we go into replays. There's some major extension right there. Paul Jensen looking good, but I think Shattered and Natural High a little bit better.
Oh yeah, this is a great run. Maybe in the replay here I'll be able to see what actually is giving him some troubles here. It's a great donut here. I love when they bounce and carry that wheel like that.
Hi, I'm John Shear.
Back to action here in round 8 of Monsters of Destruction competition on the Outdoor Channel. This is freestyle. Here comes Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer. He missed round 7. He's itching to do some damage here in round 8, Frank.
Yeah, I think Craig loves working on his truck more than he likes driving it because he just hammers that truck. And it's a well-built truck, but he just flies it so high and so far, and he does it sideways. He's going fast. That's a real fast-running freestyle right there, throwing it in a turn like that. A lot of talent, a lot of experience in Craig Christensen.
Puts it on 2 wheels there. He definitely shows sort of a lack of concern for his own safety and the safety of that truck when he does freestyle. Historically, he's torn a lot of stuff up, including his truck and venues that we've been to.
I've heard he's hurt himself, too, because he just, look at that. That's some serious air.
Flying high, and he got major distance. He's out of the arena. He's going to have a hard time turning around and getting back.
Oh, he's taking the long route. He's coming back in the other side. Yeah, here he comes.
I think he surprised himself right there. That was a lot of distance.
Well, you know, there's people out there in the parking lot that are, you know, going home early. He's just showing them, hey, get back here. He's pulling them back into the stands.
You can always count on Craig Christensen and Dragon Slayer to do some major freestyle. That was the jump of the season that we saw just a couple minutes ago. That was spectacular. Crowd is still buzzing here as he bounces off the car stack. Still got plenty left as Christensen attacks that jump diagonally. On the brakes, crabs it a little bit, spins it around. He's not done. Going to try donut. Nope, another crisscross maneuver. That's kind of dangerous, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, he's just pushing the limit here. He's just showing that his truck can take everything he, you know, gives it.
This has been an exciting freestyle, the jump of the season, in my opinion, in Dragon Slayer. Look at that landing. What happened there?
You know, I don't know. That looked like a little bit of wheel slip, but then a whole bunch of traction, and then back in the brakes. He's doing the diagonal thing tonight. This is great. I haven't seen that before.
What a great freestyle run. There's the patented fist pump from Craig Christensen in the Dragon Slayer. What a spectacular performance here tonight.
I want to see that jump here in replay. That's going to be fun. Yoo! There he goes.
That was awesome right there.
Is that what you call frequent flyer miles he just got?
He got major award points right there. What a great freestyle performance. Well, that does it for another exciting round of Monsters of Destruction competition on the Outdoor Channel. Bigfoot extends his streak to 6 consecutive straight line victories. Rick Swanson breaks through in an emotional victory in obstacle course racing. And Craig Christensen does it again in freestyle. For everyone here at the Outdoor Channel, this is Wade Sherman saying tune in next time to Monsters of Destruction.